Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every week. It is Monday. It's the Monday mashup. This is our review show that we bring you every Monday where we take a look back at all the Premier League weekend's action. Joining as always from Graceland and West Dublin, baby Elvis himself, Mark Hogan. How are we, cuz?
All good, coach. Yeah, thanks for that message earlier. I was wondering, Brown booking me for the river bar, is it?
He was well impressed. He was.
Was he?
I said, I'm not messing here. I said, you wouldn't believe it. I said he's absolutely tops. Because I used to tell him when we were going to break for the border and all, and you'd be at it at that and all and everything, having a crack and all. And yeah. And I said the time we went to the wrestling show and you were just up as the honky tonk man and the
Yeah, do you
jumpsuit
remember
and all
that? The white intercontinental title
and the jumpsuit and everything on you.
on me and everything. Jeez, that was someday, yeah. Yeah, that was someday, man.
Yeah, fun, all
Good
right.
out.
Yeah.
Never to be repeated.
Yeah, well, never say never. And we will keep you updated on the Ballon d'Or as well as always. Baz is in the chat. Big up Baz. He was in with me today.
Evening, Baz. Did he have a fresh haircut or is that for Wednesday?
Wednesday's normally the trim.
Yeah.
But before we get into the show, and it seems to be a weekly thing at this stage, we got news over the weekend that sadly we lost Matt Bird. 1978, 2025, 47 years of age. Obviously, people would know Matt exclusively like the stellar work he did with the women's division over there in the UK, and especially he did a lot of work with the Liverpool team. I think he had two periods there, managing Liverpool women and stuff like that and all. But from all the reports in and everything else, an absolute gentleman and a great guy to have around and tops. But sadly, we've lost him. And again,
terrible,
we keep on talking about mental health and everything else and all that kind of stuff and all, So give us your thoughts.
Yeah, terrible. They obviously interviewed the Manchester United manager, Skinner, after the game. He got quite emotional in the interview as well and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously he worked with, started off with Millwall, I think it was, the Lionesses of Millwall, and moved on to Chelsea and Liverpool, and I think he was with West Ham there for a while, back to Liverpool. He was I think he was working with Burnley, was it? Latest club he worked with Burnley and stuff, but just seeing some of the messages come out about him and what he'd done for the women's game, and I've been a big advocate for the women's game and stuff like that over here, and it's great to have characters. You really need characters in football like that, to promote these things and get them going. And with the success of the Lionesses internationally comes from the likes of Matt and the hard work he had been doing with a lot of the clubs, so terribly sad. Only 47, like when you think about it, it's nothing in nowadays.
Insane.
So but yeah, no, just terrible news, and obviously thoughts and prayers to his family and friends and everyone that he's managed and in the clubs and stuff.
Yeah, we're reporting each week now on people, and I get very concerned because I'm reporting on people now that are much younger than me.
Yeah,
and that's even more concerning and stuff like that. And again, we've spoke about it with the pandemic and everything else and all.
Yeah.
All these kind of things that happen. You just never know what's going on. This guy was a great guy, but he was jolly. He was a joker. He was up for a bit of crack. All these kind of things. Yeah. So you just never know what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's very, very sad. And I heard Siobhan off Talksport. She was talking about him and she got real emotional about it and stuff like that. And she was making the point that the women's game would be nowhere near where it is today if it wasn't for Matt Bird and stuff like that. And also,
yeah, see, and like I'm reading from, he won manager the season twice. Obviously won the league with Jews and the FA Cup, the women's FA Cup.
I think he won it back to back, didn't he? 14-15.
Yeah, 14-15.
15-16, I think he won it
back to back. It's just terrible news, and it's to see, like I said, the tributes come in as they have, and what people are saying about him and stuff. It's the mark of the man, and yeah, it's terrible how we're coming on here talking, like you said, nearly weekly at this stage about stuff like this happening, and it's terrible. And like the lads in the chat, they always know we're here whenever your phone's always on, my phone's always on, no matter what time of the day or night it is. Throw us a text, make a call. That's all there's always going to be someone at the end of the line there to answer and talk to you, and whatever you think your problems are now and you think no one wants to listen, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, and what's sad about this is this man could have given another 20 years to the WSL and the women's game and stuff like that and all,
Absolutely.
what I mean? Just very, very sad. So listen, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, the extended football community again, especially on the women's side and stuff like that, where he did such sterling work. And all his relatives and close friends and everything else. It's such a shock when this happens. And to lose a guy who on the outside, as we say it every single time nearly, on the outside, seemed to be a great guy, very happy, jovial, jokey, always up for a bit of crack. I think they showed a clip today where he was doing a paint-off thing with one of the women's players or something like that. And it was just the drawing that they did and all. It was just hilarious. Like, you're looking at him, you're going, this guy is a guy who's up for a bit of crack. And then just like that, he's gone. And it's very, very sad. So we're taking about everyone involved and stuff like that tonight. But again, we seem to be doing this, Marky, nearly every week at this stage.
It is, isn't it? It's crazy.
Very sad. So rest in peace, Matt Beard, and thoughts and prayers and condolences to his family.
Definitely.
Right, kick us off. Hogan Elite Trophy here.
That as well, Drogheda have gone 2-0 up against Shells there a few minutes ago. It looks like the Drogheda fans are having a party down there at this stage. So we're into the 68th minute now. Drogheda are winning 2-0. Shells haven't looked up too much. It's a free out. Yeah, Hogan Elite Trophy here. Sorry, cuz. Still going strong. Browner was over at the house yesterday morning having a chat about all the stuff coming up next year. So it's probably the busiest year it's going to be so far. So I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously we've a good few gigs to come up the next few weeks.
Did you make him breakfast?
Do you know what? He had breakfast already. He was he was at a gig in the Olympia on Saturday night. I think some tribute. I think it was his Led Zeppelin tribute. I think he said so. Yeah, no, but it was good. We're chatting away, and he's hoping to come onto the show next week to talk about his fundraiser for Stee, and hopefully we can confirm one or two of the games for next year. Then, and so still good. And then next month we're up in Derry with Glen Hoddle on the 11th of October. That should be a cracking evening. Some stories. We're gonna have the FA Cup up there. Have the FA Cup up there with the white and navy ribbons on it. So yeah, it's good. I was looking at his career. I couldn't believe he played for Monaco and stuff like that as well, that you wouldn't have thought of and all. And obviously managing England in '98 and stuff, and the stories that came out, and
very classy, very classy baller in his day. Look,
he was, he was. Player. Yeah, 100%. He was kind of, he was very, obviously people talk about waddle and huddle and this, that, and the other, but like the ball at his feet, he looked effortless with the ball at his feet. Just it made, and like I've seen him on different things, like I remember him on Michael McIntyre when he pranked that fan and stuff like that. So he's an interesting character, so looking forward to that. And of course we've a good few gigs coming up before Christmas with the trophies as well and stuff like that, and we're taking bookings for weddings and communions and all for next year. So
make sure lads, reach out.
Go on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, give us a like and a follow and all that stuff,
Absolutely. Yeah, I do remember. I remember all that stuff. Remember with Glen Hoddle and stuff, all the spiritual healing and all that kind of
Yuri
stuff.
Geller and all
that. Do you know the funny thing about it, when you look back on that now, how crazy it sounded then and all and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're a manager doing that now, you would be seen as nearly being at the cutting edge of innovation. It's mad, isn't it? Isn't it mad?
It's ahead of his time when you think about it. But yeah, interesting stories about when you had to drop Gaza from the squad, for France '98 and stuff like that. And obviously it wasn't easy. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. Dave Eldry's organising that up there. He's a massive Tottenham Hotspur fan. He looks after the Emerald. I think it's the Emerald Tottenham Hotspur supporters page over here and stuff like that. And there is a few gigs coming up in Dublin next year as well, with a few other Spurs guys that will be involved with as well. So yeah, looking forward to it all now.
Send me on the details of that huddle one, and we'll do up a slide for next week's show.
Yeah, 100%.
We haven't done a slide on it yet, so because Browner's involved, isn't he? I assume.
Dave Browner is. Browner was going to go up to it, all right, but he's not involved with this one. It's Dave Elder,
okay.
So, now we're looking forward to it. Should be a bit of crack,
Maybe we try to get Dave on the week, not next week, the week after.
Yeah, I'll give him a text and say
give it one final push if he wants to come on, have a quick chat about it, even for 10 minutes or something like that.
100%.
Right, where can we begin? What a weekend of Premier League action! Where do we begin?
Jesus, unreal, wasn't
Start off with the derby.
it?
Now at the time, FC 2, Everton 1.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked at that now, to be honest with you. Given, I think I was sitting here watching the Arsenal City game yesterday, and there was 4 minutes added on at in their match, and I think a lot less happened in the first half of the match yesterday. Probably Bernardo Silva going down, pretending he'd been hitting the balls and stuff like that. But
Well, he was hitting the balls.
no, but the way he went down holding his face, and then he went. Did you see it? He was like this, and then he went, but yeah, it was a good game. Thought you started off very well. Probably took your foot off the pedal a little bit after you scored the second goal. Ekitike, man, oh, what a finish! Great finish. Do you know who he reminds me a bit of? Torres. I don't know, it's because of the height and the hair and the long sleeve jersey, and he reminds me of Torres an awful lot, and great performance by him. Great first goal. Oh my God, what a goal, man! Pickford had no chance. He's one of those, he died for it and no chance. But yeah, Everton created a few chances. Dewsbury Hall hit one wide of the post early doors, and they looked all right. But yeah, listen. I don't know if anything's come out, but I initially thought he'd been cautioned because he had said something to the referee before he took after he took the free kick. The referee obviously told him, listen, play to the whistle. He's taking a quick free kick. The referee's gone over to him. He's obviously said something to get the booking. It's either that or the referee's booked him for unsportsmanship behaviour. So if he's going like that, like, wait on my whistle, and then he's played it, so it's unsporting behaviour. So I'm not too sure what has anyone come out and give an explanation to why.
Would you normally on the pitch book a player for that, or would you normally go over and have a word?
I just have a word with him and just say, listen,
I thought the booking was harsh because we hadn't seen it really before.
No, I thought it was, but then I thought, listen, I'm not. That's why I wonder why it was. I'm nearly sure it could be for something he said. He's cautioned him for something that he said. In the aftermath or something like that of the quick free kick being taken. So that's the only thing I could think of anyway. But what was your own thoughts in the game? What do you think yourself, Gus?
I think for about a half an hour or so, or 35 minutes, I thought we were exceptional. And then I thought, do you know what it is? And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this Liverpool team. And what it is I'm beginning to think, are they finding it too easy and they get so lax? And I don't mean that in throwing any shade to other teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think in games like this, when you go 2-0 up that quick, and a third would kill off the game, but it's like as if they're conserving themselves and they're just playing it and they're just, you know what I mean? And we all know 2-0 is a very dangerous scoreline, especially in a derby and stuff like that.
And when they scored 2-1.
And then when they scored, they got the impetus and the crowd went a little bit quiet and then they were up for it and stuff like that. I thought Grealish was exceptional on the day. Yeah. I thought the main player that let them down was Beto up front. I thought he really offered them a whole lot.
And he hasn't done much this season at all, I think I spoke about it last week. That's what Everton are missing is
he just feels like a Moisey centre forward though, doesn't he? That's what he feels like, So I don't know. I think Everton. I think they've started off really well this season and stuff like that. But I think it was a step too much for him, really. Even as good as Grealish is and stuff like that. No, the boy you see on the screen there has been absolutely exceptional. Whatever Slot has done with him. This is a guy who couldn't even barely break into Klopp's side. Came in and stuff like that. Last year he was absolutely exceptional, relishing in this new role that Slot gave him. And this year, he's arguably at the moment one of the best DMs in Europe, if not the best DM in Europe. He's absolutely phenomenal at the moment. And not only is he acting as a DM and he breaks up play and he kills that counter press and all that kind of stuff, but he's also nearly playing box to box as well. So he's nearly doing both roles. So he's just so impressive, and he has an engine on him that's unbelievable. And he's found a way as well now where he's able to shoulder a lot of those battles in midfield and stuff like that, and he's not getting injured as much as he was and stuff like that. No, I've just been so impressed with him, and hats off to him first of all, but also hats off to the coaching staff and the Slot. No, he's so what would I say? He's so motivated and so enthused and so positive, and he's so. What I like about Gravenberch as well is he picks up the ball. He's so positive in the way he turns and wants to find that pass, wants to move the ball forward all the time, and I think that's been like a key thing for us at times this season. But then when we drop off, it gets a little bit negative, and you get a lot of recycling and slowing things down and stuff like that. But his a goal and an assist yesterday. What more can you say?
Oh,
Absolutely
some
phenomenal.
finish, like I said, it was some
Yeah,
finish point.
yeah.
What you obviously have a tough game coming up this weekend as well, isn't it? Palace, I think.
Wait, the Palace. Yeah. Well,
Right,
we've
Palace.
Southampton tomorrow first in the Carabao
Yeah,
Cup.
the
So,
Carabao Cup, 8 o'clock
but
tomorrow night.
we're going
What
to review that. We'll review the Carabao Cup during the show
what
anyway. So.
what do you think about the worst situation? Obviously came on, was it just after the hour yesterday or on Saturday? Sorry, you know.
Isaac, yeah, and Verts, yeah,
Yeah,
Isaac
first,
and
like,
Verts,
yeah,
yeah,
Isaac, Isaac came on
mm,
a few minutes later, I think it was. Oh, yeah, it was Curtis Jones and Verts came on together, wasn't it?
yes,
Just after
and
the hour mark.
yeah, and then
What do you
Isaac
think of the
and
start so far with obviously the first few games? I know it's still early doors and stuff, but there's obviously been a bit pressure put on Verts with the
yeah,
price
well,
tag
yeah,
and
the price tag puts the pressure on and stuff like that, like it does with any player, and kind of naturally you get players at different levels and different sort of abilities, and you've Ekatike coming in, he'll just shoulder it and get on with it. He's a young kid and stuff
yeah,
like that, so he's having not feeling the pressure. He's loving life and stuff like that. And all you get
got you.
someone like Verts who's in a slightly different position and all. It's a more prominent position. It's a more exposed position, and I think at times he's looked really, really good in some of the things we've seen. When given the space to play, I
Yeah,
think he's looked really good. I think when it gets into a kind of a tight game, like when you're against an Everton or you're against a Burnley and stuff like that, as Darren said on the Thursday show as well, when you're playing a European game, it opens up a little bit more and gives him more space to
space to
flourish and give
yeah,
him that confidence. I think the decision on Saturday we myself and Darren spoke about on Thursday and expected it. I think it was kind of like, let's not put him into this battle against Everton and stuff like that because we don't want him getting knocked about and stuff like that. He's still trying to come to terms with the physicality of the league, and
yeah,
there's no more physical battle than if you're going in there against a Tarkovsky or a Michael Keane or
yeah,
whoever it
exactly.
is. So maybe there was a little bit of protection there. I think you might see him play against Southampton tomorrow, actually,
Yeah, I was
because
thinking
that
that
could
myself.
that could be a good game for him again to maybe get off the mark and get a few things going and build on that confidence, stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. But it hasn't been great. But I would say about the second half against Everton, we were pretty bad all round in the second half against
Yeah,
Everton.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
wasn't necessarily just in actual fact, in the way that we were playing, it was a bad time for him and Isaac to come on and stuff like that because we
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
playing very well. And Everton were kind of on the up. So
What you
we'll
think of
see what happens.
Tarkovsky and Virgil van Dijk's little battles from set pieces?
I love that. That's been
Yeah,
going
it's
on
great, isn't it?
forever and a day. Yeah, those guys,
Great.
and they love that. And there's a huge amount of respect at the end of it as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's good to see that as well. I like Tarkovsky. I think Tarkovsky, and Everton fans won't want me saying this. I think he's too good for Everton. I think he's a top six defender.
Yeah, he's very good. He's solid, but I like him with Everton. I don't know, like he just kind of under Moyes now. Obviously, they've been excellent. I think since Moyes came in January, February, whenever it was, they've been really good at the back. There was question marks over Kane before Moyes came in and stuff like that.
Mm,
But I think that they've all been rejuvenated. Even Pickford and stuff like that last
mm,
season, he was excellent and he was unplayable at times. And I think he's taken that form obviously into the season as well. And probably unlucky to concede the penalty against Leeds that time in the
mm.
first game and stuff. But yeah, no, I've been impressed with Everton. I have to say, really have.
Yeah,
Dewsbury
and
Hall and
listen, it's
Grealish.
no less than what we would expect from Moyes. The only thing I would say about it that I've been a little bit disappointed about is I get the feeling he's not playing his best 11 yet.
He's no, yes. A few people have said that. All right, I was reading that and stuff. A few Everton fans have been saying that.
Yeah,
Um,
when the likes of bringing Dibbling on and stuff like that.
yeah,
And all, I think Dibbling should be a starter for Everton.
yeah, no, 100%. He
So
was excellent with Johampton.
that's the only thing I looked at it and I seen the subs coming on and I was going, how are these boys not starting? Dibbling's a proper little
Yeah,
baller in there. You know what I mean? So
100%.
yeah,
And obviously, I think what they need is an out and out goal scorer in January now. If Milesby, I think that would be the finishing touch. I think Beto, like I said last week, he needs about 13 chances to get one shot on target. You know, that sort of way. He's not the answer for me for everything
Mm.
going forward. You know.
Yeah, and I think for a big old school centre forward as well, I don't think his whole game is rounded either. I think Kanate took care of him fairly handily as well, and stuff like that. And Kanate normally struggles with those bigger guys. Like when he
Yeah,
goes up against the likes this Saturday, he'll be going up against the likes of Mateta. Mateta normally tortures him.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes and stuff like that. But roll on tomorrow night, bit of football and up against Southampton, see how that goes. Be interesting. I
yeah,
think Endo's going to start anyway, which would leave it
yeah, yeah.
like that. Probably Ryan will have a break. Mac will have a break. You'll probably see Curtis Jones in there. You'll see Endo and I don't know who else, but I'll have to have a look at it. But something in and around that, you know. Keith is in.
Great.
Tarkovsky is a very underrated defender. I didn't realize he's 32 now. I thought he was 27. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
now he's
Been
on a
knocking
bit.
around
He's
the
on a bit.
world. Yeah,
Yeah. The problem with those old school big lumps of central defenders and stuff like that is they can go and go and go as long as they're not injured.
yeah,
You know, because you're not expecting them like you're not going to get Everton at times pushing right up to the halfway line and stuff like that because it's not going to get exposed. You know, let's run through some of the others. Then Burnley won, Nottingham Forest won.
yeah. Tough day at the office for Ange again, wasn't it? Obviously going up. And then it was just all downhill after that. Burnley all the way. The
Mm.
Brafnik had a good game of goal for Burnley. Sales again had a good game. But listen, like you're 3 games in, you know, you were beating 3-0 to Arsenal. You went from winning 2-0 against Swansea to getting beaten 3-2. And now you're after drawing with Burnley, you know, in your first 3 games. And, you know, I'd say, no, the owner, he's putting pressure on them already, you know. It's one of the worst performances I've seen in that second half, and the goal just summed it up. The OG, like it was a horrible goal to concede. But you know, fair play to Burnley. It was a massive point for them, and they need these kind of points at home, not to be losing at home, to hopefully stay up this season. And you know, they've done all right. They've done all right, and they show glimpses of what they can do going forward, and they create a few chances. But they've they're going to City away now this weekend. It's going to be a different story, I'd say. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about the bottom 6 teams, bottom 7 teams, even they'll all have that same problem going to City. You know,
Yeah,
I think what the likes of Burnley, Leeds, and Sunderland should be enthused about is that like how bad the teams below them are. Aston Villa,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
we'll talk about West Ham and Wolves, like you know,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
bad.
no, and listen, I think the 3 teams that have come up have really done well. They've gelled into the league really, really well. They've probably done better than I would have thought after the first 5 games. So it's looking good for them, you know. But it's just
Well,
trying to keep that up.
my prediction was out of the 3 that came up, only Burnley might go back down. That was my
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
prediction,
yeah.
and it's certainly looking that way at the moment. You
Oh
know.
yeah,
Mm.
absolutely,
I know we're
absolutely.
only 5 games in, obviously.
No,
Brighton 2, Spurs 2. Brighton will be disappointed, will they? 2-0 up.
yeah, yeah. It'd be 2 points dropped rather than one gain in their eyes. I'd say, you know, they started off brightly 2-0. They had Spurs on the ropes. The Spurs keeper, I don't know what he was thinking for their
Mm.
second goal. I thought he should have done better. I thought he should have moved his feet a lot quicker. We've seen some shots over the weekend. We'll get on to. I think it was the might have been the was it the West Ham game? I'm not too sure, but you could see the ball spinning for that. Where the Brighton second goal, there wasn't any spin on the ball. I think he is, to me, he's the weak link of the team. He was last season
Mm.
making a lot of mistakes
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and they haven't really recovered. But yeah, listen, I think if it was an Ange team getting beaten 2-0 by Brighton, I don't think there would have been a comeback on. I think Thomas Frank done well to get them back into the game, made a few changes and stuff like that. And I think if they could maybe sign someone for the left wing in January, I think they'll do well. But yeah, it was a massive point for Spurs away on the road to Brighton. They don't seem to get too many results there, but they
Mm.
managed to get a point in the end. So it was a massive point game for them, in my opinion. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2. West Ham's
Yeah.
problems continue.
Myself and Rowan were in the shop. I'm doing the last man standing, and we were having there he is, just as I mentioned him. We were having a conversation about this, and I picked Crystal Palace, and I fancied them, but we were toying between Leeds and Palace to pick, for the last man standing, and I went with Palace So when I seen Leeds going through winning 3-1, and then it was 1-1 for a while. But yeah, listen, Tyreek Mitchell, what a finish! He's been excellent for Palace. 17
Mm.
games unbeaten now for Palace. It's been brilliant. Glasner has been playing some great football. And do you know what? Do you know what's funny? Like, they've been playing really well, but I don't think they've gotten to the rhythm yet. I know that sounds funny, but I think there's still a lot more to come from them as well. But yeah, Mitchell channeling his inner Zidane. What a finish that was! Like, he
Well,
watches it.
remember, he was brilliant in the Charity Shield against us as
Yeah,
well, the
yeah.
Community Shield. He
And,
gave us a torturous time.
and you know what's mad? He hasn't got a call up from for England since 2022. I think 2022. 3 years without a call up, and the likes of Kieran Tripper and all these are getting called up. It's mad. I think he well deserves a call up by now. But yeah, from a West Ham point of view, they get the equaliser, and they fell asleep at the back then, and it hasn't been the greatest of starts. A lot of pressure on Potter at the minute, I think, and the West Ham fan base can be very relentless like at times, but it's just that I say they're losing their patience at this stage. It hasn't been a great start at all, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better either.
The West Ham fans will be loyal to you if they think you're putting in that 100% on that shift. They
But
look like West Ham at the moment look like they're coasting it a little bit. They don't look like they're really applying themselves,
100%.
And the
Like,
West Ham fans are well educated in that area and stuff like that.
yeah. I feel a bit for Bone. Like, he's in a poor team at the minute, and he's trying his best. He's probably one of the most consistent players. Obviously, he's the captain and stuff, but I kind of fell for him on Saturday. Seeing him, he's trying everything to get back into the game. So, but yeah, listen, like I said, he taking nothing away from Palace. They were excellent on the day. They've been excellent this season, and like I said, I'm tipping them to win the Europa Conference League. I think they can go all the way in that competition, given hopefully they can stay injury free for as long as possible this season, given with the extra games and stuff. But I really do fancy them to win it.
We said with the UEFA ruling that it might be the best thing that ever happened to them being demoted down into the third tier. Because that gives them a great opportunity to put some European silverware in there,
Yeah,
So,
listen, after winning the FA Cup and the Community Shield, to add a European trophy, just be fantastic for Palace.
Yeah, big up, Brown. Yeah, Wolves 1, Leeds 3. Quick fire goals here. I was coming out of the car park, I think it was, after working on Saturday, and all of a sudden it was Leeds. It was like one after the other. Like,
it's mad, isn't it? And like, Wolves started off well, got a goal. You think to yourself, right, their luck could change here, but not at all. Was it Stack took the free kick for Leeds? What a goal, man! Top corner. Unbelievable. Great header by Calvert-Lewin as well. I know people give him a lot of stick, and obviously with celebration, he was getting a lot of stick from the Wolves fans behind that goal because he went over to them. But it was a great header into that right hand corner of the net. Couldn't have headed any more sweeter. Great win for Leeds. I think Darlow had a great game goal as well. Pulled off some really important saves, crucial times in the game as well. And Leeds are looking good, man. Shells have just got Harry Woods just scored there to make it 2-1.
Yeah, and Molineux, a tough place to go, especially for those sides that are battling it out, potentially in the bottom half and stuff like that. Like, it's not normally an easy place to go, but Wolves just look extremely weak this season, don't they?
I was just going to say, they don't look great at all. You think going 1-0 up against Leeds to get beaten 3-1 at home, then there's something major up there, They just don't look themselves at all. 7 minutes been added on here, goes in this game. They don't look
points and -9 goal difference. It's not good. Like,
it's crazy when you think about it. I think me and Rowan had a conversation. We felt Wolves would go down. We felt at the time Brentford we thereabouts as well, and then one of the three. I was saying Burnley myself, because I think Leeds with their home form, as with Sunderland, I think that their home form is going to be vital. But they've been picking up points away on the road as well, and it's been to see them over here in the Aviva that time playing against AC Milan. The fans, like, it was a sellout over here and stuff, and they played very well against them. And actually Noah Okafor, who they signed from AC Milan, got on the score sheet as well. So he was a great signing for Leeds, and we'll hopefully see a bit more of him as well.
Yeah, it's mad at this time of the season because 2 good results propels you up, and 2 bad results drops you right back down. So still
Exactly.
on the knife edge, still very early days in the league and stuff like that. But Wolves need to pick up their ideas really, really quick, or they're going to find themselves very much detached. Very, very careful. And then a mad evening game, 5:30, Man United 2, Chelsea 1. When I seen the teams lining up and the rain absolutely pelting down, I said, this is going to be a war of attrition. What did you make of it?
Madness. First Premier League game in history to have 2 sending offs, 2 goals, and 2 substitutes all in the first half. Absolute madness. Yeah, listen, Chelsea obviously would have fancy getting something from us given our form going into the game. I fancied us, to be fair. I called 2-1 to Rowan, the lads in the shop and all. Like, I just felt something. But obviously their game plan changed after 5 minutes. Sanchez with a rush of blood to the head coming out and getting sent off. And, I think obviously losing Cole Palmer early doors as well and making a few other changes. And then we get to go with Bruno, which I thought was onside. I didn't at the time when I seen it in real time, but when I seen the replay, he was obviously onside. And then you get the second Casemiro, and you're thinking, right, this is grand, see it out. But I was chatting to my dad at half time, and my dad said he had a feeling Casemiro was going to do something silly, and he did, and he got the second yellow. Like, you're 2-0 up against 10 men, my dad was saying he should have, which I agree with, should have probably put Manu on with being on the yellow card, because you could see when Casemiro scored the goal after they were back at the halfway line, the Chelsea players were pointing at him, and you just felt they wanted to get him booked again and get him sent off, and it happened. And yeah, listen, I thought in the first half, I thought we had some really, really good passages of play, and we looked really good, best probably all season. I know we're playing against 10 men, but yeah, listen, we done what we done like we always do. We let them back into the game. Obviously, it's 10v10 in the second half. Conditions weren't great. Play was very slow at times in the second half, and yeah, they get a header from a set piece, which the defending was brutal, and it gives you a nervy last few minutes of the game then, and lucky enough we seen it out, because I was sitting there watching and thinking they're going to equalise here, but I think it's hopefully we can listen. We travel to Brentford on the weekend. Hopefully we can start building something now, and for me it was a massive 3 points. And like I said, we played very well at times, but there's still a lot of work to do as well.
I thought the first 5 minutes you put them under some serious pressure, and I thought you were playing really, really good football, which kind of led to the sending off. It was a moment of madness, but it was the pressure that was being
we were
applied.
pressing them high. Yeah, we were pressing them high, and we played knocked around the ball as well. Very good.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough for both teams. That pitch was very slow at times, especially the rain never gave in for the whole 90 minutes as well. So it is tough when you're playing in them conditions.
I think the thing that came out of it for me is, one, I think Jorgensen has to come out and catch that ball before Casemiro scores that header. The ball was 50 feet in the air, and he's standing there looking at it. You can't,
and it's in a
that.
6-yard box. You have to command that area.
You have to come out, and you have to come out and just catch that and take the pressure off. The other thing was the Maresca, like the substitutions were all over the place. He hit panic stations, and I don't think he knew what the hell he was doing and stuff like that and all,
I mean, mate, Duffer was texting me because Duffer went on a rant asking what the hell he's doing with all these changes, and then Duffer didn't know if they could make changes in the second half with actually the Ligt I thought was fantastic on Saturday. I thought he had an excellent game. Solid,
covering every inch of the pitch, all right. But I thought as well, with Amarin as well, and like I don't like to win on managers when they win and stuff like that, but he should really be subbing Casemiro off there. There's no reason to keep 100%. Him on the pitch. And sometimes I think nearly he does it on purpose, because he knows, okay, he's going to get a game or a 2-game ban. So that relieves the pressure on him for picking him or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just it's a weird one, because it's just I think you have to, when it's like that, and it's Casemiro, and he's liable for a late challenge or something like that, because that's just the nature of who he is. And I just think you got to get him off the pitch. You can't leave him on the pitch when he's on the yellow card. That's for sure. But that's really what came out of it. But I suppose history will tell you it's not surprising that Chelsea just don't win at Old Trafford. Keith is in. It's mad to think City is 8 points behind Liverpool already. I think Arsenal will find it tough against Newcastle. They will find it tough against Newcastle, especially Newcastle at the moment are not pouring. 0-0 against Bournemouth as well. And Anto's in. Big up Anto. Was on Anto in the shop on Saturday. Hope you're good, pal. Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Fulham, Marco Silva. Top job.
Great. And Iwobi has been excellent. He got a goal and assist. Harry Wilson's finish as well, by the way, into that bottom left corner. On fire he was. And yeah, listen, Brentford would have gotten a lot of confidence, obviously taking the lead with Damsgaard early doors. Very laxy at the back from Fulham. But they got back into it and they've been excellent and they've been all chipping in. Every single player, like Silva has them playing some fantastic football. Like I said, Iwobi has. I think he goes under the radar slightly. He has, I think he's been excellent since he signed for Fulham. Not a lot of people talk about him, but Harry Wilson, another good day at the office for him as well, and another good 3 points at home. Obviously, Silva would have been disappointed conceding the goal. When you look at I thought there was something there in the Shells game that looks like it's coming to an end there. Yeah, no, when you look at the way they play, they can be quite open at the back at times, and obviously Brentford got them out. So I would say Marco was very disappointed with that. But listen, like 3 points at home in a little London derby, you can't say anything with that. Like, and is it the rate now 8 points for 5 games? Like, and they're playing really good football. So not a lot of teams, like in the past, it's not a lot of teams like going to Craven Cottage.
Marco Silva at Fulham is kind of a little bit what Arsenal wish Arteta was a little bit at Arsenal. It's kind of that little risk and reward and stuff like that. You don't see Fulham playing a low block. You don't see Fulham playing 2 banks of 5 around like that. They risk it, and that's why at times you get these anomaly results where you go, oh, Sunderland bet them, say, or something like that, and you go, oh, that's a weird result and stuff like that. But it's because they go out to try and win every game, even home and away. Even when you look at the way Marco Silva sets up when he's away from home, it's to go out and play football and try and win a match. He's not looking for draws and stuff like that.
You can see it straight after the Iwobi goal. They went right back down and they just applied the pressure. And 2 minutes later, they get the second. It's 2-1. Brentford are on their knees, and it just shows you they just keep going and keep going.
And the one thing about Fulham as well, they give everyone a match. They give everyone
absolutely.
a match, no man away and stuff like that. Sunderland won, Aston Villa won. Aston Villa really struggling. Sunderland, what Enzo Maresca should do this week is sit down and study what Sunderland did when they went down to 10 men. That's the blueprint for what you're supposed to do. You just restructure your tactics and your formation, and you still go and try and get that equaliser, and it was well deserved.
100%. They probably feel unlucky not to have gone on and won it. With 10 men against Aston Villa. I don't know for the life of me what is going on with Aston Villa at the minute. Struggling to score. Great finish by Matty Cash. I think obviously the sending off. Listen, it's one of those things where you look at it going, "What was your man doing?" I didn't think there was much contact myself. But he's asked a question of the referee, and whenever that happens, you always worry.
It's straight retaliation under the referee's nose. You're not giving, it doesn't matter whether you tip them in the bollocks or you kick them full force. If there's intent there, there's intent.
But listen, I think the Stadium of Light is obviously going to be a fortress for them this season, because I don't know whether it's their silence or what, because I can remember Sunderland under Tony Mowbray, if they went down to 10 men, they usually got beaten 2-3-4-0, that sort of way. And the way they set up and got back into the game was not short of a miracle. I thought they were excellent.
But see, modern day managers don't do that. Modern day managers turn around and go, right, let's drop off and refill that gap that's been sent off, and let's go with one less man, but let's press and see what we can do.
Yeah, no, it's but they were excellent, and I do worry for Villa. They just look shocking at the minute. I don't know what it is.
Well, they didn't get Asensio, who was a big player for them last season. They didn't see Rashford either, And then you're looking at what they lost Ramsey, didn't they? And then they've had what? There's at least 3 or 4 players there who had ambitions of leaving in the summer that didn't get the move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they literally panned Ollie Watkins out to anyone who would listen.
Yeah. I was just going to say that, and he hasn't been doing much this season either. Rodgers has been very quiet as well. You look at their bench; they're not really bringing on anything. Sancho, obviously signed, hasn't really made an impact at all. I had a
Mm.
feeling he wouldn't anyway. The way his personality is and his work ethics. But yeah, it's just been.
Daniel, what's it? Daniel Mallon is a shadow of the player he
Yeah.
was.
Oh, Jesus. I think the only one you could see putting in, and he always does no matter what, is John McGinn. Like, he always puts
Mm,
his heart and soul into a game, but
mm,
there's only so much one player can do, to try
mm,
rally the troops. But yeah, listen, absolute massive. Like I said last week when they drew against Palace, it's a massive point for Sunderland. And I think if they
mm,
can keep getting results like that, as you can see, they're seventh with 8 points after 5 games.
mm,
It's been a dream start for them. It really has. Like I
mm.
said, that game yesterday, they go down to 10 men. The whole stadium's probably thinking it's just going to be, how many Villa are going to get now, but they didn't. They didn't. They didn't disappoint. It was brilliant, excellent
The
performance from them.
boy, the boy Isidore looks a real good player, doesn't he?
Oh man, gee,
Mm.
what a finish as well!
Do you know? Do you
Great
know what we
finish.
did say? Remember, it went back in August. We turned around. And we said, out of all the clubs in the Premier League, bar say 20%, like ourselves or Arsenal or City, Sunderland were the ones that showed the most ambition in terms of in the
Yeah,
transfer market and in signing
100%.
players. They were signing players non-stop and all the way up to the transfer deadline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like it's
Granit
just
Xhaka, getting Granit Xhaka in that bit of Premier League experience,
mm.
you have a few other young lads there, and
and
you
the
have the
and
likes.
the and the deft little header in the box to
Yeah,
put him in.
yeah, and like
Quality.
you have the experience of Dan Neil there, who's probably been there, 8 9 years at the club.
Mm.
He's been there from League One to Championship, now to Premier League as well. So you have a good mix, and
Super fan base.
ah,
Super
that's
fan
what
base.
I'd love to see them stay up because I think they deserve it. Like I said, the stadium looks a fortress, absolute fortress. You're seeing it on the opening day of the season against West Ham. Every save the keeper was making sounded like they scored a goal. That's how loud it was there
Mm.
when Sunderland's keeper made a save. But yeah, I was delighted they got a
Do
point
you know?
yesterday.
Do you know what I was thinking? Do you know what I was thinking at the when I was looking at the match? I was thinking every kind of team has its own kind of catchphrase, and that was the absolute definition of Sunderland till I die, wasn't it?
Ah,
Like it really,
unbelievable.
really
It
was.
was one of the obviously there's been a few more since, but I think because it was the first that I remember watching, it was one of the best I've seen. Like the local taxi man that lives around the corner, the season ticket holder, it's just excellent,
It's gone really low, Keith, hasn't it? What do you think the
Yeah.
lucky number for the bottom team to stay up this season? I'm going with 30 to 35. So listen, 40 points now nearly gets you a European spot these days.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
mad.
agree with you, Keith,
Yeah.
100%, man, 100%.
Yeah, it's much lower and stuff like that and all. And long may these teams, the likes of Leeds and Sunderland, keep on doing well and stuff like that. Bournemouth nil, Newcastle nil. This will be seen as a missed opportunity for both teams.
Dire,
Not a great game. Not a
dire.
great game.
And do you know what? It seems to me that Eddie Howe changed his tactics against Bournemouth every single season since he's left, because he's afraid of losing. Like, he made a lot of changes. Like, he'd four of his best players on the bench, that sort of way.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it's nothing to write home about. I don't think. I think Bournemouth had a few opportunities. Bournemouth out of the two teams would probably be the most disappointed that they didn't
Mm.
pick up a win. I was waiting for him to bring Ben Doak on at one stage, and he didn't. I thought he might change it up a little bit,
Mm.
because Newcastle looked a bit slow on their feet at the back, So yeah,
It's
but
mad. A Bournemouth win would have put them in second, 3 points
yeah,
behind us.
yeah. It's
Isn't it?
crazy.
It's mad, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
like I said, out of both teams on the day yesterday, I felt that Bournemouth probably deserved it a little bit more. But yeah, listen, it was. I don't think it's one we'd be a classic we'd be looking back on the Premier League years to come.
No, not at all. I didn't watch too much of it, but I spoke to Darren about it, and he said it was a chore.
Oh,
That was
shocking,
his definition of it.
shocking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was here yesterday, and yeah, no, I was watching it. I was flicking between that
Mm,
and the Sunderland game. It was just
yeah.
desperate, man. Wow.
And then the pragmatic derby. Arsenal won, Man City won. First of all, I couldn't believe the Arsenal lineup when it was announced. I couldn't believe he was going with 4 centre backs and 3 DMs at home against a Man City side. That's probably been the worst Man City side that Arteta's had to face since he took over at Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah,
And probably the best Arsenal side that he's had to manage since he
yeah.
took over at Arsenal. And it was 1-1, but it was weird. Like I couldn't believe I was looking at Man City trying to shore up with 30 minutes to go, playing two banks of a 7 and a 3.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe the substitutions either. And once Haaland went off, there was no outlet really. And like it was just mad to watch. And like with 9 minutes to go, I was looking at Man City trying to bring the ball into the corner. I was there going, there's 9 minutes to go here, probably till stoppage time of about 6-7 minutes. What the hell is going on here? Go and get a second goal here if you want to do this. And and I did say at the start of this game, and I think I said on Thursday in the preview as well, this was a game that had huge jeopardy for both teams. Because what happens now is if we go and win at the weekend against Crystal Palace, and that will be tough. That's not a foregone conclusion.
No, it'd be very
but if
tough.
we beat them, we'll go 8 points clear of Arsenal if they don't win against Newcastle at St. James's.
Yeah.
That's a huge gap to make up with 6 games gone, and we're not even in October.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it is. I think they missed a trick here. Like you said, when I was sat here watching it and I seen the starting 11 to her, Rob, you're right. Well, do you know what? I thought the first 10 minutes
they have fucking towels all around the pitch to wipe the balls down for the throw-ins.
You're not allowed to do that either. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that either. The FA brought it in there last season, I think it was. Was it last season or season before? Do you know what? I thought they did all right the first 10 minutes going at City, and obviously City catch them out and get the goal, and then it was just obviously he threw Eze and Saka on and stuff like that. But how Eze started?
Beautiful goal as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hallam.
But like you said, because it was an ideal opportunity for Arsenal to go at City and got because they have looked vulnerable at times this season, City, and they have the players to do it. They have the quality there to do it. Just for whatever reason, they're just trying to score from set pieces and long throws and stuff like that. They're like Stoke.
I think every team at the moment should be having to go off this City team. I think the City team. I think there's issues there, and I think Pep is kind of. I think he's a little bit all over the place bit at the moment and stuff,
And I'm surprised. You think with them not winning a trophy last season, they come back more hungry and, they'd be stronger at the back. They'd be, score free-flowing, score goals. And it hasn't happened. They haven't looked like a Man City team at all,
Now, they are missing Marmouche and they are missing Cherky and stuff like that as well. And I know that's no excuse when you're Man City either.
You have Rodri back now and you've other players there. Like they've the thing about City is they always have strength and depth. They've 2 or 3 players playing for one position, that sort of way. So, I don't know. They're just not clicking at all. And Pep can cut a very frustrated figure on the sideline as of late, and it's not looking
well.
good.
He's so used to success, and he's so used to blowing teams away, and now every match seems like a tactical struggle. What did you make of Donnarumma's positioning for the goal? Good Lord.
Yeah. It was, and you know what? He pulled off a few decent saves, and he's good at coming out, punching from crosses, and commanding his box.
The point blank shot was a very good save.
It was. But I just feel I think Arsenal's got it completely wrong with the starting 11. I think they were lucky to get back into the game, but it could have been a lot easier for them if they had started a different way.
We seen it last season as well, didn't we? This fear of not wanting to lose, against the top 6 teams. This deploying of a kind of a strategy of, okay, you might not necessarily get the win, but you don't want to lose. I think if you want to win a league title, you want to get over the line in the Premier League. Sometimes you have to take that leap of faith and just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it." You know what I mean? And look, if you get beaten, you get beaten, but at least you had a go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because I think that's a real concern for Arsenal at the moment. If I was Arsenal fans at the moment, and I said it already, I said that squad is tailor-made to win the Premier League. And I said, it's the man at the top that's going to cause the problem, not the team.
Guess who won the Ballon d'Or?
I presume it was Dembele, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's nearly a clean sweep, wasn't it, for PSG? Because Enrique won the manager. And I think, who won? Lamine Yamal won the young one and stuff like that. And I was going through it there. Young player, and Vicky Lopez won the women's one. I'm happy for Enrique to win the manager, and Serena Wegman won the women's one, she did a fantastic job with the Lionesses. So top job.
And she she obviously made a good few changes. Obviously, dropping Mary Earps, and then she retires from international football. So she
Mm,
was brave with a lot of her decisions that she made
yeah.
when she came in.
Hannah Hampton won the and Donnarumma, the two keepers um, awards. Just seeing it coming through here now. I think that's it. I don't think. I mean, like, and I mean, whatever decision was going to make between Lamal and Dembele, it was obviously made when Lamal obviously got the younger player trophy because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you don't normally get both.
Both,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah. You gotta. Do you know something as well though? You gotta. And this is not my Liverpool hat going on either. You gotta feel for Mo Salah, don't you? Like he's
you
just,
do. Yeah, he's
you know
not
what I mean?
probably going to get many more opportunities to win it. He's been fairly quiet this season in terms of starting off and now new players
Yeah,
around him and stuff like
yeah.
that. But yeah, you do feel for him a bit. He's been absolute world class last season. He
Mm.
was, you know.
I wonder sometimes is it the way that they carry the valuation on the national side of things and stuff like that now? Because I think if Mo Salah was French or he was German or he was
Yeah,
Spanish or
yeah.
something like that, I
I
don't
think it
know now,
has.
and I'm not saying I'm just saying that I don't think they carries the same. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Because
look,
obviously they're operating within the AFCON and stuff like that and all that stuff. But then AFCON players and African players have won it. So
but sure, you look
yeah.
at Messi. Obviously, he won the World Cup with Argentina, but he wasn't
Mm,
doing much, on the club side of things, like and
yeah. You
it's
see Salah, you see Salah, you see Salah rocking up to it tonight as well, and it looks like as if it's more of a hindrance than anything else. I
yeah,
say
yeah.
Mo
See,
Salah would
no,
rather be sitting at home with his family and his wife than go to the Ballon d'Or.
100%. Did
Yeah.
Donnarumma show up in a 3XL top? No. Did you ever see the jersey on him? It does be bleeding massive.
He's very old school, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Now he's a
there is
big he's a
something like
he's
that.
a big unit as well.
He
Like.
is a big unit. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
wearing the replica jersey. He doesn't wear the player version jersey, which I'm a
yeah.
fan of because the
Mm.
player versions are way too tight.
Maybe he hasn't got that Mo Salah abs or something like that. Maybe he's a
Could
bit
be.
Kevin. Maybe he's a bit Kevin Owens underneath the body or something like that. Is he? So,
Yeah.
so he wears them baggy.
Height of
Um,
Kevin Nash and body of Kevin Owens.
there you go. Absolutely. Great comparison. Great
See
comparison.
that?
Right. Do you want to run a show? What's the scores at the moment? League of Ireland.
Shells got beaten there 2-1. Pats, I think, ended up winning 4-0. Let me just go back into it here. Here we go. So yeah, Drogheda 1-2-1 against Shells. Galway got beaten 1-0 at home by Sligo, which I didn't see coming. They had a really good result there the other day. Brendan Clark kept them in the game at times. Pats won 4-0, 2 goals by Tottenham Hotspur bound Mason Melia. Levy just to come on and score in the 62nd minute to clear. And Shamrock Rovers win 2-0 against Waterford, away to Waterford. Waterford got the consolation goal in the 90th minute. Lonergan, Josh Hounahan put them 1-0 up and they end up winning 2-1. So another big win for Shamrock Rovers, which
Mm.
I'm just going to click into the table here. Yeah, they're 10 points ahead of Bows with a game in hand. So yeah, that's good night
What's
Vienna.
what's what's the feeling you're getting around Shells at the moment? Obviously, the wave of last year and getting the league and over the line stuff like that, and obviously Duffer exiting the building and players and all this kind of stuff and all. What's your general feeling from what you're hearing and stuff like that?
It's weird. Obviously, like you said, with the hysteria and the excitement of the last season, winning the league, you come in and you've qualified for Europe. With some massive games against Linfield in both competitions and Quarabag as well, who ended up winning, I think, the other night, didn't they, in their Champions League game? And
Yeah.
obviously Duffer goes, Joey comes in he steps up from assistant to manager. I think personally, I think we've lacked a lot. We've lacked a goal scorer up front. Obviously, Sean Boydie had been injured for a while. Martin's come in and done a decent job, but I just felt, and we've made silly decisions at the back at times as well. Yeah, it's just it's a see. Listen, Joey's taken over nearly halfway during the season. He's obviously worked with the lads, but it's different when you step up as a manager and you're implementing your own ideas rather than what Duffer had done previously. And that can be tough. That can be tough. But listen, I think for me personally, I think Shamrock Rovers. You look back at the last 4 or 5 seasons, they started off slow and then they've got into it. They've started excellent this season and they've kept it at that level. And I think they have the best squad in the league. They've strength on depth. Like you're bringing on the experience of Graham Burke coming off the bench and Rory Gaffney coming back from injury, and they got Hoonihan and stuff like that. So I think it all kind of lined up for them, and it looks like. They're playing Kerry in the semi-final of the FAI Cup
Jack
as well.
Jack has been phenomenal as well this season.
Jack's been excellent.
Incredible.
And listen, he was doing it with Ballyulster. He was doing it with St. Pat's, and now he's doing it there. And I think I mentioned before, there's a lot of talk of him going over to Manchester City.
He's been a huge difference this season for them, hasn't he? Massive.
And you know what?
His consistency as well. He performs every week.
But and he's so young that he looks like a seasoned professional, that sort of way. And obviously we went on behind the scenes with Jack Byrne and Stephen Bradley and all. Missing an experienced player like Jack Byrne, you might think, whatever. But yeah, I think they've just been too strong. Like I said, because they to that as well, and they just start so brightly, and you look at the that's an unbelievable amount, this quality of substitutions to be bringing in,
Just to let you know, in the first division as well, Athlone and Kerry was 0-0, and Finn Harps 1, Wexford 3. Big win for Wexford at Finn Harps.
I was telling the lads, I think I told Philip, sorry, I'm just looking at here. Yeah, I met Dano Kelly, who plays for Shells, my local Tesco there last week. He was in the Shelburne gear and all after just playing Galway. All right, Dano. So I was chatting away to him for a few minutes. We were talking about Gillard, John Gill, who would have managed me at chatting away. I was pushing, I was trying to get us up, but I couldn't get anything out of him. He was going home to watch Traitors with the missus and stuff like that. He was down the street oil getting loads of crap. So, but he's a good lad, Dano.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's obviously going to be a very much a transitional season for Shelbourne and stuff like that, and it's kind of panned out that way, doesn't it?
And our friends in Dundalk are doing excellent at the moment. It was another good win last week. I'm just gonna Google and see. I know they were
6 is the difference.
Is it
6? But the goal difference is 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they got beaten by Longford on Saturday. Were they playing Friday or Saturday? Saturday it was. But yeah, they've got a good win against Bray the week beforehand, and I think they're playing UCD this week. So yeah, John Temple, hopefully you'll be going back up. I never took him up on that offer either. We'll have to do it when they get back into the Premier Division, because
you can do it on the way up the Hoddle.
Yeah, the Waddle Huddle.
There we go. Right, let's round out and talk a little bit of Carabao Cup going on this week and stuff like that. We're not going to talk about it all. Obviously, Arsenal would have tripped to Port Vale. Don't expect anything there. I think Arsenal's important that they treat all these competitions very important, because they really need to put a trophy on the board, don't they?
Yeah, and you'd like to see the likes of Eze starting in this game and stuff, and given an opportunity to play. Port Vale will be delighted.
Lewis Skelly as well, and Nanwary and all. These are the boys.
Exactly. So obviously Port Vale be happy of a team of Arsenal stature coming down to them and getting a bit of revenue from it as well. But yeah, I can't see them doing anything against Arsenal,
And obviously Swansea knocking Forest out.
That was, like we just spoke about, crazy, wasn't it? Particularly Forest going 2-0 up in a game. You think they'll just see it out, and completely went belly up and that they're out of the cup competition now,
And then your favourite team in it, Grimsby, knocking out Sheffield Wednesday.
Saying that, yeah. Oh, what might have been? What might have been? I was sitting there on the way home last week, going, "We could have been playing tonight. I could have been watching us tonight." But I think I chose Champions League football instead.
It's mad when you don't have European football, how condensed what's on offer for you to try and
Yeah,
win, like,
yeah.
because obviously you're not going to win the league, you're not going to win the Carabao Cup, so now you're waiting till January for the
FA
FA
Cup,
Cup, really, in
100%.
terms of settlement.
Listen, last week I started watching Blackpool against Barrow in the Northern Conference League Cup or whatever it was. With BBC Radio Lancaster was with the commentating. It was mad. But yeah, you do what you have to do, because you know yourself.
Yeah, what do you think in Everton, Wolves and Everton?
I think Everton. I think both
Mm,
teams will make changes, but I think Everton will win.
mm, yeah, absolutely. And Wrexham versus Reading. Wrexham linked with Stevie G.
I've
Did you
seen
see
that.
that?
I've
What's
seen
that
that.
about?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that. All right. They're
interesting.
ambitious. I'll give them that. And they
Mm,
scored a cracker of a goal, I think, against Norwich over the weekend. Were they playing
yeah.
Norwich? Yeah, yeah. You'd like to think at home they'll get the win over Reading.
I would have thought so. Newcastle with a big game against Bradford at home at St James's. Obviously, a big game with Arsenal on the horizon going up there at the weekend. Then so
Big
Eddie
game of
Eddie
the
Howe
year.
will need to get these boys back rocking again and get a bit of confidence in there with this game. Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought your man Miley was off the pace there on yesterday afternoon and a few of the others.
Mm.
So this be the ideal game to get 90 minutes under them and hopefully perform, get a few goals, and then go into the Arsenal game the weekend. Then I can't really see. Bradford have been decent at the end of last season and stuff like that, and they've started off okayish. But I
Mm.
can't see them offering anything against Newcastle, particularly away from home.
What about Newcastle? Are you sensing a little bit of fatigue there? Maybe obviously playing Champions League and then coming into then the weekend game and then the Carabao Cup, and it's relentless. And not only that, I'm sure it's been quite taxing on the players, all this Isaac stuff and the transfer window all summer as well as kind of being a bit wearing on them as well. Would you see that being a problem for them?
Yeah, listen, I think, um, yeah, there's been a lot of changes there. I think obviously the few of the players they brought in still have to settle in and stuff. They made did they sign that striker on deadline day, wasn't it?
Yeah, Waldemade.
Yeah,
Waldemade.
yeah. I thought he went down very easily for that push there the other day against
Mm.
Bournemouth as well. He was looking for a penalty. I don't really like that. But listen,
Rudy Voller would have never done that.
yeah. But no, I think, like I said, they make a few changes. They probably want, like, you can't really take Bradford. I think like I said, they started off fairly well. They won't take them too lightly, but you'd expect them to win with a few changes. He changed the system up as well and dropped 4 players the other day, and it didn't work. So he'll bring in 1 or 2 of them in, give them time, maybe take them off with the weekend game against Arsenal in mind as well.
Absolutely. Liverpool, Southampton. Always a good game.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to sit here and watch it tomorrow night. If you aren't on are you on the wrestling show tomorrow, or is it Wednesday?
We're on at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah,
So
I'll have it here at the side of me though, so it'll be all good.
So what I'll do is I'll have the match on and I'll watch you on the phone or whatever, So I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, listen, it should be a good game. I think you are going to make changes. Like you said earlier, Endo will come in and that, and I'd
I
like to
just I
see.
just hope he doesn't do what happened last year with the FA Cup. I hope he still keeps a bit of quality on the bench, just in
Yeah,
case it's needed.
so, yeah. Listen, I think he will. I think he'd be foolish if he repeated that and done the exact same thing again. I
Mm,
like to obviously Conor Bradley. I like to see him start again. I thought the more games he gets under the belt, the more the confidence grows. We found it tough coming on last week. Was it not last week? The week before.
mm.
His
The
touches weren't
the
great.
Everton game is a tough game for him as well.
As well, it was. Listen, but I like to see him get 90 minutes under his belt. Like I said, build that confidence because I really, really like him. I think he's a quality player. Um, Good at getting forward. Knows where to come back and defend as well. But Southampton, yeah, listen, they haven't started off great. they've only won one match out of the first 6 games.
You got
So
beaten badly at the weekend as well. Was it 4-0 or something like that? Or
I think it was 4-0. Just gonna double check here.
I think it
Was it 4? No, 3-1. 3-1 by Hull.
3-1. Sorry, 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1 by Hull.
Yeah.
And they only got it should have been 3. They got Adam Armstrong scored in the 95th minute.
Yeah, it was 3-0. Yeah, it was 3-0. Yeah.
So and they haven't been great. In fairness, there's some decent players there still. They'll probably put out a strong team, I'd say, against us. But if he's got beaten by them, I think it'd be a travesty. I can't see it happening.
No, not at Anfield. I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
Man City are heading away to Huddersfield.
Yeah, again, they'll make changes, but they have enough quality there. They're bringing a few of the younger lads to play that are on the cusp of the squad. But yeah, I couldn't see any upset there,
And then you've Tottenham entertaining Doncaster Rovers and Chelsea away at Lincoln.
Yeah, I think Doncaster. I think they've got off to a different start. But yeah, listen, I think both. I think Chelsea and Spurs should win that, shouldn't they?
Big up. What's the story, Romy? Long time no see, lads. Says I haven't been in me, and the missus bought our first house, so I've been renovating. Very good. Congratulations.
Well done. Congratulations, man.
Congrats on
we all know what it's like. It's tough, isn't it? When you get your house and you're trying to get stuff done. Sure, myself and Yvonne were only discussing here, about painting the house before Christmas and stuff. Maybe doing a different color and all,
It's a heck of a task once you start.
It's never ending, isn't it?
It's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Exactly, but it's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But yeah, good to see you, Romy. Good to see you back, pal. Appreciate it as always. Yeah, so that's Carabao Cup. We will obviously talk about next week. We'll talk about the draw and stuff like that now. So.
Does he have? Did he call it the Bernabeu? The house that's the sign on the front? Is it?
That's it. Stadio.
Yeah. Oh yes. And here, Brendan didn't pop in the chat to let me know what my fee's gonna be.
Was he? He wasn't in at all. No, he was busy. He'll be in tomorrow. It's like Stephanie Vicour when she brings the cake to the yard. We get diabetes. It's okay. It's the Don Carlo guy. There we go.
Love it.
Okay. Ian was on to me after the Chelsea game and he was going, how did we not bring in Carlo Ancelotti and we brought in Maresca?
Unreal. He's off doing this thing at Brazil now, isn't he?
Yeah. But he was obviously available,
I have to laugh.
There you go.
My man and dad are over in Turkey at the minute and they're talking about Brazil. My ma texted me last night. I said, if there's any nice retro jerseys over there, So she sends me a picture of I said that I like as a kid I had the France 90 the Brazil from France 98 jersey, the yellow one with R9 on it, So I sent her a picture. I said, listen, if they have that, sure, you get it for me, She sends me a picture of this, right? It's I don't know if you can see it here. It's the 94 jersey, right? With Ronaldo on it. He was barely in the squad, and when he was in the squad in 94, he wore 18. So they're after trying to sell her that 94 jersey with the 9 on it. And he wore 18 at the time, and he was only in the squad. He was only a young lad, that sort of way. So, yeah, I'm not getting that. I text her back, see if they got Romario 10 and that, but they didn't. So what can you do?
I remember a few years back, I was going through the market there in Los Belices and Fungarola, and the lads had allowed the Liverpool jerseys with Coutinho on the back, and he had gone to Barcelona.
They were trying to get
rid of it. They were trying to flag off. The Liverpool jerseys. I said, the chap plays for Barcelona now, lad. You want to put them in the bin? 10 euro, €5, and all this, it was mad. Forgot the Brazil shirt. I want to see the big beauty Latinas. You be careful now. You can't be looking at now. You're tied up in a house now. There's investment there. You have to be careful.
Exactly.
There you go.
Behave yourself.
Yeah, but absolutely. Well, don't forget, folks, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and if you can, share out the content, like it, all that kind of good stuff, because YouTube is putting the hammer down on football content creators at the moment. messing around with the algorithm. That's why the views are quite low, you know.
Right.
I'm on the sofa tonight now, absolutely. Keith,
I know that feeling,
great show,
Ronan.
lads. Can't wait for the rest of the podcast tomorrow. Absolutely. Don't forget to join us
Cheers,
8
Keith.
o'clock tomorrow. Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll be going through Raw tonight. We'll be going through WrestlePalooza. We'll be going through AEW All Out. We'll be taking a quick look at NXT and loads of other stuff to talk about.
Did I read that Stephanie's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame? Is that right?
Announced at WrestlePalooza. Undertaker came out on the bike and went down and announced it to her, so it was pretty cool.
No way. I was reading she's the first McMahon since Vince's dad to be inducted.
That's right, yeah. Vince hasn't gone in, and neither has Shano hasn't gone in yet either. So
Shano, I couldn't get over that.
No.
After all Shano's matches,
but see, Shano kind of gets to the cusp of something happening, and then he falls out with them and heads off. You know,
it's mad, isn't it? Like he had some matches back in the day. Remember with Kurt Angle and all.
Well, we can't turn around. We will talk about it tomorrow night in the show, but we can't turn around and say that Stephanie McMahon doesn't deserve a spot in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like she certainly does.
I say with the work she's done behind the scenes as well.
No need to apologise, Warren. You're always there, brother. No need to apologise at all, pal. Right, folks, that's it.
I will be in the comments tomorrow. I will be in the comments on the wrestling show. I think the third or fourth week in a row will be in there.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy already.
Warren, come on.
Well, in fairness, he was right all last season when we questioned it, so it's hard to question it, you know.
True that.
Stephanie was the local boy before Blondie Blue. God, Warren. That's terrible.
He's definitely on the sofa tonight. He's definitely on the sofa. I have
my views on that Stephanie Hall of Fame. Well, I hope they're all good. all good.
I'm looking forward to hearing them, Keith. She wasn't she was instrumental in the. Remember Taker abducting her and all that time, and she was a big character back then and stuff. Do you remember she used to wear the leather hat backwards and all?
Yeah.
When she did,
when she was with DX.
DX,
When she came back after getting the boob job done.
Yeah. She's cute.
No, she was fantastic, and she was a great heel on screen as well. And when she was one of the general managers and stuff like that, she was killed. You know what I mean? And on top of that, can't wait till even sells a VPN sponsor rights.
Who was she? Remember the four McMahons had someone in the main event at WrestleMania. Who remember? I think like Vince had Big Show or something like that. Shane had someone, Linda had someone, and she had someone.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Mental. We will talk about tomorrow night. We're on screens at 8 o'clock. We've got a full panel. I think we've got 7, I think, on tomorrow night. So yeah, there's a few on tomorrow night. Well, we're gonna try 7. Yeah.
It's a lumberjack podcast, is it?
I want Duffer to replace Arteta. I think Duffer might be more on the blue side of London. I don't think he'd be on the red side.
If the money's right.
That's true, but I don't think you're going to hard. I don't think he wants to get out of Ireland anyway. So
no, the kids are settled in school over here and stuff like that, from what I hear. So he's no intention of moving over there anytime soon.
Yeah. So right, folks, if you can tune in, appreciate it. We will be back on Thursday as well with Thursday Tier Talk, and I know on Friday we'll be doing a Palace preview as well with Dino. He didn't make it tonight. He did want to come on and talk, but obviously got caught up. Not a problem. So yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow night. Marky will be back next Monday as always. We'll have Browner on next Monday as well. So make sure you come on, lads. Always great stories, a great chat with Browner or with Tony Brown, having them on and stuff like that. Until next time, folks, take care, and we will talk to you again real soon. Cheers. Up the Reds.
Yeah.